Good morning, developers. If you are new to the channel, my name is Rob, and it is JavaScript Tuesday, the day that we focus on the language itself. And today we are in ES14 or ECMAScript 2023 with the toSpliced method. It is a prototype of arrays, which means if you're an array, you have the toSpliced method. I have the MDN docs open here. We'll hop over to our code editor in a second. But if you'd like to see the playlist for all of the ECMAScript updates since ES6, I'll put that in the description. I'll also have a video that goes over sort of the relationship between ECMAScript and JavaScript. But it says here the toSpliced method of array instances is the copying version of the splice method. So hopefully you're familiar with that. You should be, because it's been around forever. It returns a new array. That is the key difference between the two. That's why this was created, with some elements removed or replaced at a given index. So toSpliced, along with toSorted and toReversed, all three of those came out in ES14. All three of them take an original array method. So if I go over to the docs here for Splice, scroll to the very bottom here, Splice was available in Chrome 1, Firefox 1, Safari 1, etc. toSpliced, just like the other two, it takes an original method that mutated the array, and instead it returns a copy, which is a utility or a convenience method. It's a quality of life improvement. Back up at the top, it says very directly here, if you want to create a new segment removed and replaced without mutating the original array, use toSpliced. So again, this is old, Splice is old, but if you don't want to mutate the array, use toSpliced. Now the main difference here, the docs are almost identical between the two pages. If we scroll down here for syntax, it's pretty much identical, other than it uses a different method name. The main thing here, the return value is substantial change from the other two. For toSpliced, it's a new array that consists of all elements before this stuff, and then all the elements after whatever you deleted. Back over to Spliced, if we scroll down to the return value, this contained an array containing the deleted elements. So in sort and reverse, they return a reference to the original array, which you never really need because you just called the method on the original array. You theoretically should have access to the deleted elements before. That's not going to be the same thing here. You're not going to have the deleted elements. You're going to have a completely new array. In the description here, it says the toSpliced method, like Splice, does a whole bunch of things at once. You can remove a bunch of stuff from the array, starting at the given index, and then insert a bunch of stuff. However, it returns a new array instead of modifying the original array. The deleted elements are not returned from this method. So coming over to our code editor, I've got toSpliced.js. I'm going to use Node.js. toSorted, we've got a script tag here, so that's more than fine if you want to do that. But let's define an array. We'll put in here 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's start with 0. That'll be a little bit easier to see. We'll go to 10, and then we'll go to 5, 6, and 7. If we go to array and we run .splice, and we want to go to the 4th index, we want to delete the 10, and we want to add the number 4. And then we'll console.log the array. I'll throw in there a equals, and we'll console.log that as well. So we're going to get the return value of Splice, and then we're going to see what the original looks like and then what the return value looks like. If we come over and run our code, this has been updated. It mutated the original, just like we saw a bunch of times, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it didn't return a reference. It returned the 10, which is what was deleted. If we change this, and I'll go ahead and make a note here, mutates the array, historically, what we would need to have done is something like this, where we'd have a, and then we'd do array.slice, open, close, or you could use spread syntax like this, and then you could mutate a. Well, we don't need to do that anymore. You can now do, let's comment this one out, paste it in. A is now going to equal array.toSpliced. We'll have the exact same stuff. This isn't going to mutate the array, returns a new array with the new changes. So it will delete one element, it will add the new element, and we're going to have a new array in A, and ARR will be preserved. This is the original array, and this is the new array. Again, deleted elements is not in there. One thing to note, come back over here, toSpliced method never produces a sparse array. If the source array is sparse, they will be replaced with undefined in the new array. That's the same for all three of these new methods. What does that mean? Well, if I throw in here array and we go to index 25 and I put in there the number 99, toSpliced is not going to leave those as empty. It is going to create a whole bunch of undefineds. In the original array, you can see here, hopefully you're familiar with this, but we have a bunch of consistent indices and then we skip a whole bunch to go to the number 25. It just has empty. This is really efficient for dynamic arrays. In this case, it will not create that. It will have the value undefined. Like most array methods, it is generic, so you can run it on non-array things. If you know how that works, just be aware of it. It goes over a couple examples that are just like splice, so we don't need to treat them here. It's just what index do you want to start at, how many things do you want to delete, and what do you want to insert. We're getting a return value instead of mutating. A little more info on sparse, a little more on the generic, and then the specification at the bottom. This has support as of, we go back up to the top, as of July 2023. So be aware of that. If you're on something newer, you'll be just fine. If you're running Node 16 or 18 or on older browsers, or your users are using older browsers, be aware of that. That is the toSpliced method. Thanks so much for watching. I'll link another ES update video, and I will see you next time.